Hey guys, it's Anna J. Wellner with the Author Library, and I have another installment of the marketing series for you guys today. The topic: what ads should I run, and what should my marketing strategy be? As creative people, as authors, we oftentimes keep that creative hat on, and we don't switch to the business side of things. So it's very important for you to think of yourself as a small business. As I said, just change the way that you think about how your product, your book, and you are presented and how everything is laid out. That means creating different graphics and creating trailers or having them done. Now, I want to stress that know your limitations. There's no harm in playing around with things. Get familiar with PowerPoint, with Publisher. Some of the options that come with Microsoft Office can be exceptionally beneficial, as well as Excel, because you'll want to kind of keep track of where your money is going and how you're spending it, so that you can calculate your return on investment. These are all very important things that you need to know when you go to publish or when you go to market your next book in the same series or in a different series, a completely different book. You'll want to see what worked the first time and kind of follow the same pattern. So, but it's entirely up to you. Set a budget, monthly or yearly, per book, whatever, but set a budget and don't go overboard. Run one ad at a time to gauge where your traffic is coming from. And again, that's where Google Analytics comes in handy, because it will tell you where your traffic is being driven from. If it's coming from Twitter, if it's coming from Pinterest, if it's coming from Instagram or from Facebook. So do that at first. And then after you get an idea of what kind of results you'll see through Pinterest or Facebook or Instagram, then you can run multiple ones at a time, knowing which ones are successful and which ones are not. So when you have your creatives that you've either had done or you've done yourself, and there's no harm in doing them yourself. There are, I think Canva is really popular for helping do digital creatives. I think there's a cost associated with it. I've not checked it out, because I do most all of mine on Publisher through Photoshop, which is kind of a pain and a little technical. So unless you're really good in Photoshop, I wouldn't recommend spending the money to get that program. So test your A, B, C, D, however many ads that you have, however many creatives that you have, test those, because you will find that visually readers are brought in by one type of ad over another. And so you'll want to mark that one down as a successful creative and use it often. And run with the top 1, 2, 3, or 4, however many creatives that you have. Like I said, don't go overboard. If you're not comfortable creating your own digital marketing graphics, then it can get expensive to have other people do them for you. So with that being said, just keep the top 1 or 2 that you really like as your go-to ones. You can run video ads through Google Ads, smart campaigns through Google Ads, discovery campaigns through Google Ads. I use Google Ads to run a continuous campaign. And I'm going to share with you right now, at this moment, what my campaign is doing. So let me reload the page. So at this time, I have set a daily budget of $3 per day, and it allows you to set an extension, which I have for my Amazon link as my extension. And at this time, I have spent $31.55. My cost per click is 3 cents. But for that amount, I have generated 69.1 thousand impressions. That's the amount of times that my ad or my creative has been seen. And I have received 1,170 clicks. So 1.17K clicks, 1,170, yes, clicks, that have directed to my Amazon page for my book. Now, that's a pretty good return on investment, because my investment is getting, my target goal is to drive traffic to my Amazon site that has my book. Now, I may run a different campaign with a different extension going to my website later down the road. Or I may change that extension to my books to read extension. You get the idea. So, so Google Ads can be exceptionally cost effective when done right. Like I said, everything takes a little bit of fiddling with, and you're not going to get it right the first time. So don't be disappointed if one thing works for a little while and then it drops off and you have to kind of finagle with it. So Twitter ads, I will have to say, they're a little pricey. And it doesn't last, they don't last long until they're fulfilled. So, meaning that if you set a $25 budget cap for your advertising campaign, that could get you 1 day of advertising, depending on how you set up your ad campaign through them. If you're going for clicks, then it may take a little bit longer. If you're wanting impressions, so set your goals. So if your impressions, if you're wanting more impressions, people to just see your creative, then you're going to reach that really, really quick on Twitter, and it won't last long, your budget there. So I will say that Twitter's a little pricey when you can get, for $30-something, you can get 69,000 impressions and over 1,000 clicks to your extension, your URL. So Facebook ads allow you to use very defined demographics and spread your ad out over a period of time. So you can pick, they make it pretty easy. So you're able to pick what you have to create the post first, of course, and then well, actually you don't. Now they have the ability to create an ad from scratch, but it is easier to just go ahead, because you're going to post whatever it is anyway, for free exposure, and then share to different groups the post that you've created, and then you can promote it. So they do allow you to use very defined demographics. So this is where your knowing your target audience really comes in handy. And they allow you to spread it over a period of time. So you can pick a $25 budget cap and then spread that out over 10 days. Or you can spread that out over 1 day. Or, well, no, actually I think it makes you do it for 3 days at minimum. So you can set that for a period of 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 25 days, but just be aware that the longer it runs with a smaller overall budget, you're probably going to not see as many. It all depends on what you're wanting to go for. If you want to hurry up and get one specific video, like a trailer, out there, then and have it seen really, really quick. If you're going to do a mass haul campaign, like right before your release date, which is a good idea to do, or rather, if you're going to put some beef behind your advertising, then right before your book launches and goes live is a good time to do that, maybe a couple of weeks before, so that people know that it's coming. Also, if you're running an ad, or if you're running a special promotional price, that would be a good thing for you to advertise as well. So you get a pretty good impression and click rate with Facebook. So they are pretty beneficial. They allow you to pause the ad at any time. They allow you to delete the ad at any time, as do all of the other services. So if you're not seeing something that you're liking from that ad, if you're not seeing the return that you wanted to see, then you can pause it and you can change your strategy, you can change your demographics, you can change your now through Google Ads, you can even change the time of day that your ad is seen. So you can really define an audience and a time schedule through Google Ads. Instagram, again, it's a Facebook company. Now, depending on your demographics, make sure that your ads are effective. So go with those, as I said, if you've tested out your A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, if you want, ads, your creatives, then you know which ones are effective and which ones are not. So go with the one that is, and Instagram will help you with this because they'll tell you, you can keep track of, say, this one got the most clicks out of every one that I've posted. And that's why it's important to post to every single social media website, and why it's important to be on every single social media website. Unfortunately, it's time consuming. This marketing thing is a full-time job, as I've said before. So it's not, yeah, unfortunately, it takes up a lot of time and effort, which is why it's difficult for independent authors to be seen, because it is very, very time consuming, and not all of us have 8 hours or 10 hours in the day to devote to this thing we call advertising. So Instagram, again, makes it pretty easy. Don't go too narrow or too broad with your demographics to make sure that and that goes for everything. But this takes practice. So you can set a time period in the same way that Facebook allows you to set a time period with a daily amount spend. And it's good for impressions and for clicks. Make sure that you keep on top of all of your advertising campaigns and check in on them regularly to see that you are getting what you thought you were going to get. And if at any time, now Instagram, I will say, you cannot adjust down. So if you notice that your campaign is not getting quite the impressions or the clicks that you had envisioned them to get, they don't allow you to reduce the amount of money or reduce the amount of days that your ad runs. You can increase, but you cannot decrease. So you can, however, pause or delete. I would pause first and then delete to make sure that it's not running any longer. And reset that ad. Now you can set up for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google Ads, you can set up a defined audience group that will be saved. So it pays to go ahead and do that, because all you have to do is just click on that. So I have one that is named Garcane, and I know my demographics that are in there and the keywords that I want triggered to pull up my ad, and it should and I get really good results from those. So all I have to do is just click on that demographic. I'm trying to think what to call that, the ad group that I have set up as Garcane. So all I have to do is just click on that, and then I'm ready to go. So Pinterest allows you to really define your target demographics by using keywords. So they allow you to use, I think they recommend you start with 25 keywords, and then I have not reached a limit of keywords. So I'm not sure if there is one. They also allow you to determine age of your audience, which is helpful if you are writing a steamy romance or erotica or a thriller or horror that you don't want, that is not intended for younger audiences. Then you can, with all of these different platforms, they allow you to choose an age group range. So be judicious on that. Use your best judgment. So if you know that it's probably for mature audiences, then go 21 and up, or 18 and up. It's completely up to you who you think the book would be acceptable for. So as I said, Pinterest is fantastic. They allow you to run a campaign for with a daily target over an extended period of time. For me, this is the best place to test your A, B, C to Z creatives, because you can run multiple ads with different creatives. The same, make sure that the pins are all of the same with the title, the description, and the link. Make sure that the only thing that changes, that your demographics are all the same for every single creative. The only thing that you change is the creative itself. Run that for one day, and then go from there. So see which ones get set 4 at a time to run for one day on Pinterest, and check throughout the day, and the one or the two that win at the end of the day, mark those down as creatives that you want to use later. So I've gotten the most impressions here, with the exception of Google Ads, along with a decent amount of clicks. I'm running 2 campaigns right now, actually. And I have spent, let's see, I'm up to $27.55. And for that, I have 8.1 thousand impressions, 10 people who have saved the pin, and 67 people who have clicked on the link, which again, I'm using the Amazon link at this time. I will probably run a different campaign later with a different link. So that way I get exposure on my website and on the books to read extension as well. Amazon ads, again, you're paying for the click, not the purchase. So I've personally strayed away from Amazon. If you are only publishing to KDP, and Amazon is the only marketplace that you are that your book is, then Amazon ads may be a fantastic option for you, because it's all there. But do keep in mind, as I said, Amazon gives you no special treatment for having your book primarily on KDP, or for even publishing through KDP. So the ads are per click. So that means that the individual will see your ad. And I have spent a good little amount of money trying to make this work for me. And I do end up paying, but I don't end up getting a sale. So I have not found them particularly beneficial for me, but I know that a lot of other people have had success with them. So for me, because I published through Ingram Spark, close enough. My book is found on many different websites, through Amazon, and then Barnes and Noble in the physical, and then independent bookstores, and then libraries, and then also using Draft to Digital on your books to read link. It's on Rakuten Kobo, 24 Symbols, Biblioteca, a bunch of different other places. So I try and run different ads that direct to different links because of that, and I don't stay primarily on Google. I want to give a caveat here. Beware of scams and deals that seem too good to be true. We've all had, do your research when you get an offer in your direct messages with a marketing opportunity. We've all had these pop up in our direct messages. Do you feel that it's worth having someone tweet out something for you on a daily basis? Then it might be worth something that it might be worth considering. I, however, do tweet quite regularly and participate in the writers' lists. Make sure that you do participate in the writers' lists because they are helpful. Not only is and use hashtags. Another thing is definitely use hashtags on Instagram, and now Facebook actually allows you to use hashtags as well. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing your posts and creating your posts to be promoted. So I hope this gives you a little bit of an inside scoop on some of the different marketing options that are out there. I know I've had a couple of people mention BookBub. Their ads are very difficult to design. You need a level of skill to create a creative if you're going to go just with a creative. If you use their template, it is somewhat limited. I will say that I've gotten a lot of impressions, but I haven't necessarily gotten a lot of clicks. There is the ability to do a pre-release announcement, but you very, very rarely are given the opportunity to do that. Once you've asked to be in that pre-release newsletter, they won't give you the option to submit your book again. So it's one and done. If they say no, then you can't ask them to do it again. The other thing is the countdown deals or the special deal. I'm not sure exactly how they term it, but it's basically when your book goes on sale, which I'm planning on doing here in, it's March 3rd and it should go on sale on March 7th. So it's, I looked into this because I said, hey, this is doable, but you reduce the price of your book and it needs to be between 99 cents and $3.99, and then you get to pick which category you're in and how many marketplaces you want your ad to appear in. And the ad that I worked up ended up being $1,700 and something odd dollars. So not only are you making your book available at a discounted cost, but you're paying almost $2,000 to advertise that it's on sale through BookBub. I don't know if it's worth. I chose not to do it because I think that money can be better spent elsewhere. Quite honestly, if someone has a different theory or a different experience through BookBub, I'd love to hear about it. At this point, I'm not a fan. Just because they're so restrictive and because it's so very, very expensive to just run a countdown deal or a giveaway. You're trying to give your book away for free, and they make you pay for that exposure to give it away. So I think your money could be better spent on other sites. I think Goodreads actually allows you to do like I need to check into that actually, but I think Goodreads allows you to do like a giveaway, and posting about a giveaway, guys, you're gonna get traffic. You're gonna get attention anyway, and so just that may not be something that you need to pay for because you're gonna have natural exposure that way. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys. One thing that I have not gotten the hang of yet is TikTok, and because I can't even figure out the program, I have not delved into the advertising side of TikTok. I don't know if I ever will. So I may never have the answers for you on what it's like to advertise on TikTok, maybe someday. But if anyone has had any success on advertising on TikTok, I want to hear about it. And I also want you to give me a personal class on how to use the dang app because it drives me crazy. So I hope you guys found this helpful. If there's anything else that I need to cover, then absolutely let me know. One other thing that I wanted to mention before we leave, and I don't know if I did mention this before or not, but with sending out your ARCs and things like that, or getting personal books in anytime that you want, Barnes and Noble has I did do that, didn't I? It's been a long week, but Barnes and Noble make use of that private area where you can set your books up and just get them in for yourself. So I have plenty of books in there that I have for giveaways or to give out to different local bookstores or something like that. And so it's been very beneficial, and for ARCs. So that's been very, very beneficial for me, is to utilize that so that I don't have to. Okay, a great example of this is that for the second book in the series, you guys don't know what it looks like yet, and you guys don't know the title, but I do. And so I have lots of the second book in there, but it's not listed anywhere. I haven't put it up on Ingram Spark yet, and I have not put it up on Amazon because it's not going to be coming out for a little while for pre-order. So, but I do have plenty of copies in there that I'm able to send out right now for ARCs and for reviews. So definitely make sure to take advantage of that private area on Barnes and Noble. So, and that's all I got, guys. So stay safe, stay healthy. And again, if there's anything else that you want to know about, please don't hesitate to drop me a line, and I will try to cover it. Next time we will talk about merchandising and my experience with it, and how you can go about setting up a store on Etsy or on Amazon, or even through your website using PayPal.